Hi love, hello and welcome to Co-Creative Healing Journey. My name is Gaia, I'm a healer, and this is a video where we are speaking to your awakening process, bringing through insight, guidance, perspective for those of you who are moving through your awakening process and need support, enlightenment, help, love, confirmation, validation, whatever you need. Spirit is here to bring it, and I'm helping today. So that being said, let's get right to it. I have with me the Gaia Oracle by Toni Carmine Salerno. And so let's see what Spirit wants to talk about today. Okay, that just popped out. Straightforward. We have got Moonlight Goddess, repressed emotions, healing, and reflection. Spirit wants to talk about healing, but healing something very specific. Oh, I like this. Spirit wants to talk about healing the perception that you have of yourself as a soul and as a spiritual being. I absolutely love it. And it is absolutely in line with this image. And that's the notion that being spiritual is being angelic, that it is being perfect, that it is being an idea that you have of what being spiritual is, rather than being yourself, rather than being your true being, rather than living out your spiritual energy, right? And so Spirit wants to speak to that and to speak to some repressed emotions and really blocked energies as a result of that. So in a very specific way, simple way, it would be to think about your true being and your true being living as you, and then being met with all of these thoughts and these ideas and these rules and requirements as it tries to express itself in the world. Your true being laughs at something or enjoys something or wants to try something, and then is met with, that's not spiritual, or that's not who I am as a spiritual being, that's not what I'm awakening into, that's not what my awakening looks like. Yeah, that's what Spirit wants to speak to. Becoming yourself, you're awakening to become your true being, which is always going to be an ongoing journey because we're such vast beings that a human lifetime wouldn't be enough to embody all of it, right? So we're always going to be awakening into more of who we are, but it's about meeting the blocks. We're going to talk about the blocks we meet in trying to become who we really are. That's wild, right? We have to work hard to become who we really are. Okay. We have got peace, dissolving unwanted or disturbing thoughts. And we've got the temptress, seduction, deceit, a broken promise. Okay. I like this. And it so speaks to me. Been there, done that, and there. Again, on a regular basis as I keep awakening. So we've got peace on the one hand. There is this deep desire within to dissolve these patterns, to dissolve these habits, to dissolve this what's like a lack of focus. It's causing you to lack focus, right? It's like you want to focus on being you and being your true being, but there's all the stuff that gets in the way. And so there's a desire to dissolve it. There's a desire to be without it. There's a desire to let it go. And it actually comes when you pull back a little bit. So there's some discernment linked to that. For some of you, you need to tune in to that part of you that just wants to let it go. I don't want to carry this, what is it called? The 40-ton shield of perfection. I don't want to do all this just to be able to step outside the door. I don't want to do all this just to be able to tell people that I'm spiritual. Then everything else I say in the conversation, I have to live up to this expectation. I have to be like the Dalai Lama or something for me to feel that it's okay, right? Or feeling like an imposter. If you share something that you authentically experience, are people going to believe me? Are they going to think I'm making it up? Is it spiritual enough? Is it special enough? I don't know. Exactly. So it's about dissolving that, letting that go, and Spirit really wanting you to tune into that and saying you have that on a daily basis, at least, if not in every single moment, depending on where you are in your journey, right? But you have that in a very enduring way. This part of you that just is like, I don't want to do that anymore. I just want to be me. Can we just be me? Can we just please? Can I just be me? There's that part of you. So tune into that. And especially you're going to be able to tune into it once you get past the gatekeeper or the temptress. If you're you, they're not going to like you. They're not going to accept you. Let me look. What do you really want? What do you really need? What do you really need in this world? You need food to survive. If you're really you, you're going to lose your livelihood. You're going to starve. You're gonna starve. Always with a sensitive voice, right? A tempting voice. The worst things uttered in the most seductive kind of way. You're gonna starve. You're gonna be alone. Everything's gonna be a complete disaster. It's all gonna be destroyed. Don't do it. Don't do it. Remember that time you tried? Remember what happened? Don't do it. Don't do it. So it's to recognize your hooks. What gets hooked by this energy and by this pattern, right? What is the big red button that this pattern knows it can push on, and you're gonna cave, you're gonna fold, you're not gonna pursue it, you're not gonna try it, you're not gonna say it, you're not gonna want it, you're not gonna know that you deserve it. All of these things. Where are you vulnerable, right? Where are you vulnerable to these kinds of manipulations? And also a message to recognize that it is self-manipulation above and beyond. We are never, ever, ever affected by things outside of us because we're spiritual beings. So the only degree to which we can be affected by something is if we allow ourselves to be, if we choose to be. So we choose to listen. We choose to believe in this stuff. And we all have our own reasons for it. We've been through different experiences, and that's part of it. And so I'm being guided to tell you a story. So in 2020, when all of this stuff was happening, very much in the beginning, I found myself, I was in retreat by a little nature area here where I love to go and just be. So I was there just being, and I had this moment of profound awakening, opening, and real connection of myself and presence and being myself and living that and loving it. And immediately I felt this feeling, constriction, pulling me back, and I was like, what is that? And I went into it and I felt vulnerable. And I was like, why would I come into the grandeur of life is me? Why would I be experiencing that and then feel vulnerable to like that pullback, right? And I had the answer instantly. It's because that's what happened when I was little. At some point growing up, at some points, I would be myself. I would show up, hey, love me, yay! Of course you're gonna love me, right? This is me being me, yay, love me. And was met with something that was not love, right? And shock and sadness, hurt, and then having it repeat over and over again to the point where I started to associate being very much myself with a sense of vulnerability. Clearly, I've been working on it, right? And that's the point. This is stuff we can work on. But they're there, and we have to know what our hooks and pitfalls. Because I was just thinking like, I'm really being like, myself, kind of the way that I am on camera, right? And then I thought, I wonder how I'll feel when I edit this. I wonder if I will post it. I will post it. Obviously, we're here now, but I will post it. But there's probably a lot of videos that I've made over the years where I was in this energy, embodying this, and I didn't post it because I couldn't face myself being seen in this way and having to deal with the consequence. Basically, I couldn't deal with the consequences of showing up as me, right? And that's a hook. That's a hook. So I know when I'm going to be editing this, don't get hooked. And it's so important to know those hooks, to know what follows. And for me, it was that sense of vulnerability, right? From experiences of attack. For other people, it could be coming to yourself and the feeling of rejection and not being met in that, right? So that's specifically about how I'm me and they don't like it, right? For me, it was more I'm me and then I get hurt. So the feeling of hurt and the feeling of vulnerability. But for some people, it's clearly rejection, being rejected in who you are, or I'm me, but it's not good enough. No matter what I do, I'm just being me. I'm just being me. I'm just being me. And I'm being met with the message, it's not good enough. It's not good enough, or it doesn't lead to outcomes. It doesn't lead to things. We all have in our individual awakening process, we meet these things. What is your hook? What is your issue? What is your pattern? And it's very much shaped by what you've experienced. So keep going. We have 2 cards. We've got purification water, emotional cleansing, rejuvenation. It says it all, right? And then we've got Zen garden, inner sanctuary. Beautiful. It's a process. It's a process. You need to come out of that, out of these emotions, and you come up. And I've actually been experiencing this recently, so you might also be, it could be in the air, right, with the moon doing her cycle, doing her thing, and then just the collective energy. But I've definitely been plagued over the years with these, where I remember things that I used to do again, being myself, and I just, that feeling like, that just kind of burns, almost like secondhand embarrassment from yourself, but those kinds of feelings. And then I've been having these feelings where the emotion is there, but I can rise out of it and just be like, either that was honestly a stupid thing to do, or, wow, I was young, I didn't know any better, or, oh wow, people really didn't have space for me. They really couldn't embrace me or accept me or appreciate me or love me or whatever it was, right? Okay, okay, it is what it is. But the emotion is there, but I don't have to dwell in it. And that's the message. It's a process. You don't have to live and dwell in the unfolding of your wounding, essentially. And everything that keeps you small, you don't have to live in it. It's about learning how to stand up from it, how to come into yourself, and again, show yourself as you are in the world. This is me. Hi. There's a song like, I'm hearing like almost Broadway music, like, this is me, here I am, and jazz hands like that, just showing up and being you, and learning how to do that, and learning not to erase those things, because they were a part of you. They were a part of how you experienced. I think actually once upon a time, that little movement I just did, I would have gone like, the video's ruined, I can't put that out there. Oh my god. It's a process. You get to be on the other side of that process. Wherever you are, there's more work to be done, right? Because again, we're always awakening. So you're getting called into more, and you're going to be meeting more patterns, especially if you go into different life areas. If you start to get married, or you become a parent, or you start a business and you get older, whenever you're coming into different stages of life, there's a different energy to meet, and there's different patterns inside of you that arise that also have to do with how you saw your parents parent, or your parents grow older, or how society sees older people. All of that stuff, you have to meet it. You have to meet it over and over and over again. Everybody on the planet does this. Everybody, it's just that most people meet it and then they listen. Right? It's almost like a hostage situation, but they come into a new situation, and the temptress goes, if you don't parent like this, you're going to be a failure, and your kids are going to be a failure, and everybody's going to look at you and they're going to know it's your fault. And you're just like, okay, so that was a little more forceful than the temptress, but it's that kind of energy. And then people just go, okay, I'll just parent the way everybody else does. And then if something happens, then you just say, well, that's how kids are. I'm parenting the way that everybody else does. So if my kids are doing this, that's how all kids are. Not me. It works, Spirit says. It works. It really, really works. And don't kid yourself. And don't think that it's about you being lacking in some way. I'm not strong enough to resist it. I'm not authentic enough to be. It works. And you have had thousands of years of training in this body, so inheriting from ancestry, and then in your own past lives and stuff. There are more reasons for you to fall into it, to stay in this water, than there are for you to stand up in terms of what you're used to at a soul and human level. But in terms of the nature of your being, the stature of your being, the grandeur, the delight that you are, you have every single reason to stand up and be yourself, because that is the beginning of a whole new life. There's a lot of peace that comes in, a lot of quiet, the ability to look at this nail and see that chip and just let it go. Which again, once upon a time I couldn't have, and which is also why I did my work before I showed up with you guys, because some of the stuff it wouldn't have been pretty for me or you, right? But there is a different way of living life on the other side. And this is the inner sanctuary. And the thing about a sanctuary is that it has boundaries. It's protected. And this is talking about what really reaches you. When you're in your spiritual energy and your spiritual being, and you're in your alignment, what really reaches you is what is of the same as you. So of the same of the spirit, meaning all of the expressions of love. So patience reaches you. Light, love, happiness, joy, excitement, courage, endurance, discipline, courage, passion, and so on and so forth. There are so many, right? Generosity, gratitude, appreciation, all those things reach you. But in the same way, all of those lower things like the temptress, even from within, right, trying to tempt you with your weakness and your wounding, it's not going to reach you anymore. It's not really going to show up in your reality to the same extent. It's gonna be there. It's there, right? You're standing in it. You're standing, you're as your body. You are your body. You are your human self. So your DNA is still there. Those patterns are still there. Your ancestors are still there. Your relatives are still there, right? You're still living the same life, but from a completely different space, and a space that is immune to those kinds of energy. I'm giving you something. You're going to be petty about it. Okay. I love this. I'm in it, so I can discern that you're being petty. That doesn't reach me. Okay. I give you something. You're grateful about it. I can discern you're being grateful, and that reaches me. Yay. And it goes back and forth. Yay, 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 yay. I'm appearing before you, and you type some comment about, I don't know, my nail. Why didn't you fix that nail? I can discern that that's more about you than it is about me. Okay. And because I can do that, I get to sit here and make videos and live out my life purpose. That's the point. And I think that's the next card in where Spirit wants to end this. You have to understand that you're also awakening for a reason. You're awakening for a purpose. Your awakening is a precondition of certain things happening and unfolding in your life. But you're not going to be sent into the jungle that is this world. The internet. Oh my God. Just the internet. But even how modern life is unfolding. And especially in these times of tremendous change and transformation, Spirit cannot, in good conscience, in love, Spirit is not going to send you in that without you being able to live it in a way that's good for you. And so the last card is, we have eternal dance, movement, wheel of life, path of least resistance. Exactly. It's about setting up a certain flow in yourself that will then flow out into your life. This is who you are. This is how you want to live. This is how every single part of you wants to live. Even if you're having thoughts and like mental patterns and things that are going wrong, right? If dysfunctions, they are dysfunctions, right? So if you have these dysfunctions, then emotional disturbances, mental disturbances, even physical ailments and things, all of those things want to be resolved. Your pain wants to heal itself. Your pain doesn't want to stay pain. It doesn't necessarily know how, but there is a movement inside of you, and there's a movement within all of life moving towards the highest good, including your highest good, right? So within you, everything about you, your spiritual energy, your mind, your heart, your brain, your thoughts, your emotions, your psyche, your approach to life, your strategies, and your body and your experience of life, all of it is striving towards wholeness and integrity and to be in alignment. So all of you is striving to clearly embody and manifest your true being, your spiritual energy in an aligned way. So there's more pull towards you being you, the true you, than there actually is towards you staying in these patterns, even though this voice can sound the loudest, and these concerns and these dynamics can seem like they overshadow the spiritual realm and the spiritual flow of life. But it came first. What came first, the tree or the apple? Well, it's the tree. The tree led to the apple tree, right? There was that way, and it's that thing. I was like, but didn't the seed create the tree? And Spirit is like, I created the tree. There you go. Life is the creative source. And that's one thing that I want to tell everybody on this channel. This is pretty much why I have this channel. There is existence, and there are things that exist like war and cigarettes and things that harm and violence, and those things exist. They are part of the world. They are real. However, they're not true. Spiritual energy is true. And everything, every solution, all of the healing, all of the improvement, the resolution, the upliftment comes from life. So if we get completely caught up and tuned into existence, and all of these things can go wrong and all of this can happen, and we try to find our solutions in existence, at the very least, we're limiting ourselves. We might find some solutions, but the creative source is in life, and life wants to resolve. Life wants to heal. Life wants to improve. Life is tending towards wholeness. And it's about letting it. It takes a lot more energy to hold your true being down than to just be your true being. That's why a lot of people are exhausted. A lot of people are depressed because their energy is going into working against themselves, right? So that was the reading. There's nothing else for me to add. That was the reading. Thank you so much for watching. I am sending you so much love, wishing you all the best. If you would like to work with me, I do offer individual readings. We work on self-love, soul connection, love and relationships, life purpose. And I've also created some awesome healing work that could help you if that speaks to you. I post pick a card readings here on the channel. And then, if you enjoyed the reading, please like, comment, share, subscribe, all of the good things. Wishing you all of the good things, all of them. May you be blessed always and in always, and I will be seeing you around. I love you. Bye, love.